Our task for today is looking at the circular flow model. Sometimes it's called a model, sometimes it's called a matrix. And essentially what the circular flow matrix is going to show us is how money moves through our economy in what's known as the product and the factor markets. It's just a basic model of what the economy looks like. So here is an example of it, and I know you're looking at this and it makes your head spin, and trust me, it is really difficult to understand. I'm going to give you a little bit like a taste of what it is. We're going to look at it very simplified, and then I have linked on today's date on Google Classroom a video of another teacher explaining this, and you're going to, in your notes packet, kind of fill out your notes based on his video. I'll come back and explain at least one of those charts. They're all the same thing, just represented different ways. But first we need to know what a product and a factor market is. So products means what we buy. So this is our finished goods and services. You hire someone to mow your lawn, or you go to Walmart and you buy Band-Aids or toothpaste or something like that. You are operating in the product market then. You are buying something. And everyone operates in the product market. Individuals buy things, businesses buy things, the government buys things. And prices in the product market are determined by supply, how much is available, and demand, how much people want. Now, the other side of this is the factor market, and sometimes it's called the resource market, which is why I wrote that here. And that is the market for services that go into products. So every product that you buy is made from different things. The tangible materials it's made from, like shoes are made from fabric and rubber and zippers and shoestrings. And also the other things that went into making that, such as the hours that people worked making those shoes, the machines that fed the fabric, or the sewing machines, the building that the shoe factory is in, like that sort of thing. And so there are four factors of production that we've already gone over before, and that's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurs. And land is where your business is. Labor is who works in your business. Capital are the capital goods, the things needed in order to run that business. And then entrepreneurs are the people who started the business, people who try and break into the game, break into capitalism. And again, sometimes it's called the resource market. So to understand all this, we need to know what derived demand is. Demand itself is just desire for goods and services. So demand equals desire is how I remember it. They both start with D. And as the demand for goods and services increases, so does the demand for the factors that go into the product. Here's what I mean by that. If we are demanding iPhones, by default, if we want an iPhone, we are also demanding all the things that iPhones are made of, all the effort, time, energy, and resources that went into making that iPhone. So that means we are demanding more lithium-ion batteries and different metals and plastics that go into the iPhone. We're demanding the computer scientists that make the apps and the software, and we're demanding the factory workers that put together the different hardware that when you turn on the phone, it works. So increased demand for iPhones also means increased demand for all the things that go into making an iPhone, and that is called derived demand. So there's a snapshot of it. Let me quickly run you through a example of this, okay? So let's take a look at this one. Don't worry about government and all this stuff right now. Focus on just the flow this way and the flow that way. We have the product market. That is where people buy things. The factor or resource market, that is where things are made. Within our economy, we have businesses that buy and sell, and we have households that buy and sell. So let's start with households because that's easy for us to think about because we are individual people. So when we buy things in the product market, we get a good or service and we give the product market our money, okay? Businesses put their goods in the product market, so that people can buy them. And then when they make money off of that, off people buying them, it's called business income. Some people call this revenue. And that just means money that the business has made, okay? So we finish this one, and this one, this one, and this one, okay? Now, What about households and individuals when it comes to the factor or resource market? Households and individuals provide the labor and the work it takes to make things. And in response for their labor and work, they get income. Okay? So they are providing one of the factors of production or some of the factors of production. They're entrepreneurs, they're starting the business, they are laborers, they work in the business, and they get paid income for that. Businesses have to buy the factors of production. You can't have a shoe factory without sewing machines, so they have to buy different factors off the factor market, and they have to pay for those factors. If we are a coffee company, we have to have land. So we would buy land from the factor market, and we would pay money for that land. So that's the general flow of the outside of the circle. We've kind of covered all of that. There is a big player that we haven't talked about yet, and we'll talk more about the government later, but the government is in the middle, and the government makes things a lot more complicated than just the general flow. So when it comes to the government, they have arrows going out from all sides everywhere. The government will buy goods and services from the product market. The government buys things. Think like fire trucks, desks in school, your Chromebooks. The school is publicly paid for, so it's a government entity, okay? So they will buy goods and services, and they spend government money, and that is literally called government spending. GOVT stands for government, okay? Same for the factor or resource market. They have to buy factors of production, government buildings, government land, fire trucks, things like that, that get other things done, and they have to spend money to get it. So that's government spending, okay? When it comes to taxes, taxes go both ways, okay? Households pay taxes to the government, and tax money is used to help households, sometimes tax breaks or like food stamps or welfare. Okay, same with the government. Businesses pay taxes to the government, business taxes, and then the government helps them out with tax breaks and rebates and what's known as subsidies, where the government pays certain businesses to do certain things using tax money. So that's the circular flow model. I've linked another video of another teacher explaining it, so you should go take a look at that.